My 1994 BMW E34 Estate in Hellrot Red is going to be getting painted, which might come as a little bit of a surprise to some of you guys, as we just did a full wet sand and polish on the car, and I think to the average person it looks pretty good, like it looks pretty complete, but there's a few bigger issues on the car, more so in the auto body realm, that I really do want to get sorted, and the whole goal here is to create the best possible car we can. And in order to do so, I think doing a professional respray in the OEM color is going to be the best option, so that's what we're going to do, and I'm honestly very, very excited to do so. So today's video, remove all the trims, lights, gaskets, basically anything that gets in the auto body shop's way, in order to make it easier for them, but also in return cheaper for us, which is always good. Before that though, I'm going to show you some of the bigger issues on the car and kind of the whole reason that it is going to end up getting painted. The first issue that most cars of age have, but especially BMWs with these big flat front ends, is stone chips. So there's tons of bigger ones like what you see here and here, but more than that, there's pitting all over the front end of the car. It's very hard to pick up on camera, but it's basically from stones hitting it, not chipping the paint, but creating little indents in the clear coat, which really ruins the clarity of the paint. And as much as people think you can wet sand them out, it's just not possible. It does need to be painted. The first issue on the sides of the car that's covering both front doors and both rear doors is door dings. They're absolutely terrible. This is the worst patch and kind of the only patch I could really get to show up on camera, but all four doors are absolutely covered in them. Not the lower section, not the top section, just this midsection. And you could of course get someone to do PDR, but at $15 to $30 a dent, with maybe 30 to 40 dents across the car, you're into some serious money, so you might as well bring it to an auto body shop, get them to sand it down, fix them, and then repaint it. This door and this rear quarter panel are a completely different color than the rest of the car. But it's not just the color. They didn't stop there. It's also single stage paint. So if you go back to the wet sanding video and there's red water all over the floor, it's from these two panels right here. And it's super weird because I have a receipt from this done in 1997. So it was done professionally, it was documented, but it was just done absolutely horribly. And when you're back there from that angle, it looks the worst. This has been my least favorite thing about the car. Probably the most common issue with rust on the E34s is these silly sills they put on all the doors. So 3 of them survived. This one on the driver door didn't quite make it. It rusted out, so we're gonna get that fixed and then get new trims along the whole bottom. And hopefully we can prevent this from happening again. This is the last little bit of more so auto body issue. This sun-faded, sun-bleached, clear coat failing patch on the roof. It's not a 2002 Civic, so it isn't acceptable. So that's the last thing that I was really concerned about getting fixed. Now we can move on to start pulling trims and get this thing as naked as possible. I'm just gonna work from the front all the way back. everything that I can do, at least. There's a couple things left, like the gaskets around the sunroof panels. You have to actually remove the panels to take the gasket off, and I don't really want to risk ruining it, so I'm gonna let the body shop do that. But other than that, there's no trims or anything touching any of the panels how it is. So it's prepped to be worked on, bodywork, and then painted, which is perfect, really. And I'm gonna be replacing all the trims on the car, so all the plastic trims, door handles, grills, lights, pretty much everything that came off the car other than bumpers is gonna get replaced. So I'm hoping by the end of this we have as close to a factory finished vehicle on the exterior that we possibly can get. The next thing for me to do is roll the fenders, front and rear. One issue, the wheels in the rear aren't set up the way that I need them. They need a new lip. I have a new lip, I just have to switch it. But this car's going to paint in like 5 or 6 days and I'm not gonna have time to do it. So what I'm gonna do is roll the fenders now with the intention that I'm not gonna have to roll fresh paint because that's gonna be a lot more prone to cracking. So I'm gonna do as good of a job as I can now, and then if I have to roll them just a little bit more when the car comes back, I'll feel a lot better about that than having to do it right from scratch, as I won't be pulling too hard on the paint. So I'm hoping that all works out, and that's all gonna be a separate video when I go to fit the Futuras and the tires on the car, which at this point, unfortunately, is probably gonna be happening after the car gets back from paint, but that's all good. And that's the end of this video. I hope maybe this was insightful or helpful a little bit to any of you guys that are looking to take apart an E34. I'm sure there was some visual indication of how to do certain things. But yeah, we've made it this far in the video. Thank you for watching, and I'll catch you next time.